All right, everyone. We are live, so let's call this meeting to order. And let's begin by saying the Pledge of Allegiance in our various locations.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's also have a brief moment of silence, please, for the Portage County residents who lost their lives this week battling the COVID-19 virus. Our thoughts are with their families and loved ones at this difficult time for our community. Thank you. All right, let's recess into solid waste.
Move to approve the minutes of June 4th, 2020.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move to approve the June 11, 2020 bills as presented by the county auditor.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move to approve the June 11, 2020 journal vouchers as presented by the county auditor.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move to approve the June 11, 2020 then and now certification as presented by the county auditor.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Yes. All right, Bill, you are up for discussion items.
Okay, the first discussion item are the public hearings for the rate and charges. We've had some discussions, and with everything that's going on in the world right now with the COVID-19, the high unemployment rate throughout the state and throughout the nation, we're recommending that we postpone holding these public hearings for rates and charges to either the end of this year or early 2021, when hopefully things calm down, the unemployment rate decreases. We get more guidance from the governor's office as far as public meetings, sizes, and locations. We had set up school systems when we first started this. And obviously when the school systems closed, we went to public parks, and then we decided on Zoom, and then the unemployment rate really skyrocketed. So it's just our recommendation. We hold off on these until such times that allow us to, present these maybe where everyone can attend or whatever form we decide to do.
I think that makes a lot of sense, Bill. And I think too, I know that it was important to us that we wanted to try to also have the hearings in the communities and where residents would have ease of attending. And I think, in this time with the limitation on mass gatherings, it makes sense to delay and hope things turn around quickly. Hope we get into a position where we can have in-person public hearing again and be out in the community talking to residents where they're impacted.
Right. I agree. So we're in agreement that we'll just go ahead and hold off on the public hearings and rates and charges until a later date.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just keep it, obviously we'll keep it on the radar, but
Right.
We'll just constantly reevaluate where we are
Sure.
when the governor lifts that order and bring it back before the board.
Perfect.
And the CDC increases the gatherings from 10 because as I'm sure we'll have more than 10. So,
Yeah, hopefully as things open, we don't see a drastic upturn in cases and things like this, but I think it's wise on the commissioner's part just to put this on pause for right now, especially when we're looking at public health issues. So thank you for doing that. Item number 2 is Brimfield Recycling. We have drafted, the team has drafted a letter that would be sent to the Brimfield Township trustees. I personally apologize that we got it out to you so late last night, but it is in draft form. If you're comfortable with it, I will put it on district stationery, sign it, PDF it, and then email it with a read receipt to all 3 of the trustees. This is an outpouring of the fact that we cannot hold rates and charges. So this was what we came up with to handle the recycling situation in Brimfield. As you're all aware, we've been doing this at no cost, and we just simply cannot continue this moving forward.
the question I have, Bill, is it references it's an extension. Normally an extension is an extension of the already existing terms. This is not an extension. This is like a new contract because it doesn't begin until July 1st. Their contract ended December 31st. So it wouldn't be an extension as it's referenced.
I think
Well-
the intent is all of the other language that's in the existing contract would carry forward. And the only change would be from weekly to bi-weekly at the rates that are as close as we can get to what they're paying now.
Yeah, but how is this different from what was proposed almost a year ago that we did not come to an agreement on? Their services are being reduced and their cost is increased. They're going to bi-weekly versus weekly at $231 a week. And we're doing $3 per month for 6 months. And then for the next 6 months into the new year, it's increasing again to $375.
The 375 for 2021 is what we told communities when we raised the rates to $3, that was the target rate for 2021. So we're trying to stay consistent in the contracts that we can do rate increases. We're trying to stay that consistency across the county.
And I think the other way to look at this, we can no longer continue to provide service that we cannot bill for because the contract has expired. So this is the last chance opportunity for them.
Yeah, but this is not a true extension. An extension is a continual, and we've had a break in service for almost, well, for 6 months now. So in
You're
my mind, it's really a new contract. It's not an extension.
You would actually, in all purpose, be correct, except for we don't want to have to spend the time to craft a contract to send to them to have them rejected. So all the other terms of the contract would stay the same, which is pretty much what every other community has, except for the frequency of collection and amount charge. So if they look at their current contract, they're going to see the terms that are non-fee related and non-time related. Otherwise, you're correct, would be a new contract, which is what is being proposed, is we'll craft that contract. Everything stays the same, except for the frequency of collection and the amount charge.
Okay, except for the extension then would take it to December 31st this year. This contract takes it from July 1st to July 1st. Again, it's not in line with a true extension of the existing contract that expires December 31st, 2019.
I see your point. I truly do. Maybe we can craft the message a little differently that they understand that a new contract will be forthcoming, but all the terms that are not changed by this letter would stay in place.
But this is the exact same offer we offered them that they did not agree to, and they wanted. So it's a whole new offer. It's not a true extension. I mean, and the contract runs from a different timeline, from July 1st to July 1st. So in my mind, it's not an extension at all,
Okay.
because we've had the 6-month gap. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand completely. We're trying to
and this
make
is
it easy for both of us, but maybe we made it
Yeah.
too easy.
Yeah, and this is exactly the same offer that we offered them at the beginning that they declined, and they wanted the survey done. So that's another reason why I think it's misnamed as an extension, because it's not truly an extension. It's basically all new terms, agreements, and a time frame.
Is it just the word extension that you have a problem with? Because we could,
Yeah, because it's not a true extension. It's
that
truly.
seems like a pretty easy change.
Yeah. I would just take extension out of there and see. And here's my concern with, if we can't come to an agreement, once we stop services for Brimfield, what's from keeping other communities from doing the same thing? If Brimfield doesn't agree to this and you stop servicing, we're still within our realm for our plan, within the 90 percentile, actually still a little bit above it. I think it's like 91 or 92. But what's from keeping someone else from doing this?
Nothing except they're under contract. I think
Yeah.
Bill got the last Palmyra, I think it was.
Right.
So,
But don't we have several contracts next year, Bill, coming up?
I'm looking at it right now. It's above me. We have a couple in 21 that are coming up, Ritztown and Aurora. And that's at the end of the year.
Oh, end of
2021, yeah. Both expire December 31st, 2021.
So the hopes is, because you've ran it from July to July, is that we will have the one plan that everyone will be on the same page. Hopefully by then we will have had the hearings and been able to put everyone on the same page. Is that why you ran it from July to July?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have to ask.
All
I
right.
think too, one difference between January and now is just that we have been providing service to the residents, courtesy of the county, as we struggled through this public hearing process and having to pull public hearings. And hopefully, in light of the pandemic and the circumstances that we're under, it is a slightly different time and circumstance, and hopefully the trustees will see the goodwill we've extended with the service that's continued, and they will continue the service for the residents. That's my hope. Certainly it's up to them, but we're in a different time now, and hopefully we can all come together and do what's best for all of our residents. That's all I have, Bill.
All right.
I think it's good, and if we change, I think if we just change the word extension.
How about if I do this? I'll modify it, get it to Gene, and we'll review it, and then I'll still send it out as I planned. Put it on district stationery, read receipt to all 3 trustees.
Sounds
I think
good,
that
Bill.
makes sense.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone have a great day.
You too.
Thanks,
You
Bill.
too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye now.
Do we have a motion to adjourn solid waste?
So moved.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
There's Brad. Good morning, Brad.
Morning, Brad.
Morning.
Morning.
I think we have a couple of other of our folks who should be with us here. Let me make sure they're there. I see Diana, I see Nick, and I see Dennis. We're in good shape.
All right.
Thank you for having us. Let me start off here.
Yeah, welcome, everyone.
I'm Brad Earhart. I'm the president of the Portage Development Board. Our agency administers the county enterprise zone property tax abatement program. I'd like to give a special thanks out to Diana Frelli, our economic development specialist, for her expertise in putting this package together today. I'd also like to introduce two other folks to you all. Dennis West is the Economic Director for the Ravenna community, which comprises of the city of Ravenna and Ravenna Township. And I'd also like to introduce Nick Brenner, the real estate representative of Menards.
Welcome, Nick.
Let me start off here. The project is going to be located in the city of Ravenna, right off of Ohio Route 88, which is also known as Freedom Street, I believe, in the city of Ravenna. It will be a combination distribution and manufacturing facility. It will be a rail user. The total investment is $51.7 million, which will create over the next 3 years 90 jobs for a total annual payroll of $3.49 million. Now I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues here. Mr. West will talk about the project from a community perspective, and then Nick will talk about it from a company's perspective. So Dennis, take it away.
Thanks, Brad. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this. And I just want to thank Menards for their working with us through all this process. It's a long process. I know they began this process about 4 years ago, looking for a site search in Northeast Ohio. And it's been exciting to be able to work with the representatives and the company and all the economic development partners that are involved in this. Currently, where we're at right now, Menards has provided all the site plans to the Planning Commission for their review. It is currently going under preliminary review at this time, and the Planning Commission will hold, they typically meet on the last Tuesday of each month. So their commission to review and approve the site plans will take place on June 30th of this month. We've been working with both the company, the rail, and everybody else that's been involved, the state, and everything seems to be moving forward. It's kind of a smaller site than what we projected, than what we anticipated. Working with Menards, we feel that we can make this move through comfortably. So that's where we're at right now. In the first 6 months, it's been a hectic 6 months for everybody. Menards has pulled through with continuing on this, and this just shows the resiliency of the company, and it makes them a great partner and a great fit for Northeast Ohio, for Portage County, and for the city of Ravenna. So on behalf of the mayor, Frank Seaman, we wish to thank you for all of your patience and working diligently with us and through with us. And we look forward to a continued relationship. Nick?
Nick?
Hi, everyone. Nick Brenner with Menards. You know, it's great to finally be here. As Dennis said, that we've been looking in this region for a good part about 4 years. We looked at a number of sites, and for one reason or another, we've had a lot of difficulty finding a site that that works for this particular project. And it was only last December, actually, when the existing building at 7154 came on the market. And I think it was about, I think I found that about a day after it came on the market, and we were under contract within a couple weeks. So it was something that as soon as we saw the land next to it. You know, I've been to Ravenna a number of times before this building came up, and it was something that we were very excited about. And we jumped at the opportunity. And that was back in this December. I don't know if I said that, but ever since we have been working with the state, with the city, with the county, trying to get all of our entitlements in place here so we can go ahead and proceed with this project. We are hoping to have everything wrapped up here by the end of the summer with our goal of starting construction next spring. It takes about a year to build these sites. There's a lot to it. So we wouldn't be looking for operations until about early to mid-summer of 2022. Just to give a little background on the project itself. So there's a number of facilities and operations that come into play on this. One is that we have our truss manufacturing plant. That is actually what we're going to be using the existing building for. We're going to convert that into our truss plant. We also have our fleet maintenance shop, as we call it, in that building as well. So any forklifts or trucks on site that need repairs, they will go there. Also, any trucks that travel to the stores or any forklifts at the stores would come back to this facility too and get repaired. We also will be proposing to build about 150 to 200,000 square foot building, the most of which is going to be our concrete block and bagging plant. That is where we make, the pavers, retaining walls, edgers, your landscape block products that you're seeing home improvement stores. The other portion of the building is our distribution stock. So this is where we're going to ship out a lot of the products we make at this facility, and also some incoming trucks that bring in materials from vendors that get shipped out as well. And then finally, the last portion of the building is our wood recycling plant. This is actually a pretty cool and unique thing that Menards does. Any scraps that we get from our truss plant, any defect boards from the stores or anything like that actually comes back to the site. We grind those up and we turn them into mulch. So we recycle a lot of the materials that we make and any defects that come from the store. The last operational aspect of this project is our lumber transload facility. That is what we need the rail for. That is what has made finding a site in Northeast Ohio very difficult, is finding a site of 75 acres on rail that isn't wet or has some other impediment to it. But the Wheeling and Lake area has been great to work with so far. They have agreed to restore the main line to get us up to this site. But this lumber transload will bring in lumber on rail and we'll transload it onto our trucks and head out to the stores for sale. As Dennis said, we usually look for about 75 acres here. We're at 62 for this particular site. So it is extremely tight. We have had to do a lot of engineering, a lot of plan changes to get it to fit in this site. And we're doing things that we really haven't done before, such as a number of retaining walls and crossing a stream to get this to work. But we are close to it. We have made a lot of progress here and everything is looking promising as we move forward here.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the Board of Commissioners?
Brad, I have a question. I saw in here that you had to notify both Ravenna City School, what they give their blessing, and Maplewood has not responded yet. Do we have to get something back from Maplewood, or was that just a notice to them?
Diana, you're on mute. Okay.
There
Just
you
to
go.
to Maplewood, they don't have to approve anything.
Okay,
Just the home school does.
very good.
Okay.
Can I ask, Nick, how many facilities does Menards have like this around the country? Is this unique? Is this one of a cluster servicing certain stores, or how does this work company-wide?
Yeah, that's more of the latter. So I think you're going to test me here, and don't quote me on this. I think we have about 14 facilities like this. We actually have two different models. One is what we call our regional facility, which is where we have almost everything that Menards manufactures in a regional distribution center. The closest one to this is Holiday City, Ohio. It's up in Williams County. That one's about 700 acres. So very massive site. And then we have three more of those spread out. One in Eau Claire, Wisconsin here, where we're headquartered. One in Omaha, Nebraska, and one in Plano, which is a suburb of Chicago. This site here, this smaller one, is what we call our mini distribution manufacturing sites. We scatter these quite a bit over the Midwest, essentially by big groupings of stores. The concrete block, the trusses, the lumber, they're very heavy, very expensive to transport. So in order to stay competitive in pricing, we have to locate these next to major metropolitan areas. So if you actually go to Fayette County, Ohio, Jeffersonville, between Columbus and Cincinnati, we actually got a site very similar to this approved a year ago, and we broke ground last summer. So we are hoping to have that up and operational this December. So this would actually be the third manufacturing distribution site in the state of Ohio alone.
Oh, great. And when you hire, it's residents from the area, from the community. It's not bringing in residents from, or people from other sites. It's new jobs created of Ohioans and people in the region, correct?
Correct. Yes, we will. I would say our site manager is probably going to come from within the company because we need someone that knows how to operate everything. But the vast majority of these people are going to be local hires. We don't, if there's someone that wants to transfer, we will look at that, but that usually doesn't happen too often. Usually it's local people that gets these jobs, and that's from the beginning, and then that continues even more so as the plant continues to operate in the future.
Great, thank you.
Nick, I just had a quick question. I noticed that you're going to phase the employees in over 2 years, 45 in year 1 and 45 in year 2. And then I see that it equates to about 1.7 million in payroll. Does that payroll include all expenses for the employee, like benefits and stuff, or is that just salary?
So that is just their W-2 earnings. So just their salary. And when I do payroll, I'm conservative. I use the starting rate. There's raises and there's bonuses and there's a bunch of other things that come into play. So I mean, from year 1 to year 2, we are actually looking probably about another $100,000 increase in that number. But again, I don't want to, I like to be conservative and make sure that when I say it's going to be the payroll, that's what's going to happen. It's not going to stay there. It's going to go up as time goes on, pretty significantly, especially as people start to work here longer, because one of the good benefits of Menards, and this is for every employee of Menards, is what we call a profit sharing program. So every year that you work for the company, you get a certain percentage of your W-2 earnings as a bonus for that year. So the first year you get 2.5%, the next year it goes up 2.5%, and it keeps increasing until you hit a max of 15%. So by the time you get to year 5 or 6, that bonus is going to go up, and that payroll is going to go up as well.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, Nick and Dennis, I would just like to say we're very happy to have you. I mean, truly, this is a big shot in the arm to Ravenna.
Well, thank you. This was a combined effort from various organizations working together in collaboration. And it's great to have partners such as Portage Development Board and Jack Cole and the state, and working with great representatives from Menards. Yeah. So this project has been a really great project for Ravenna and for Portage County.
Well, it's a teamwork.
It is.
When you work together.
It is.
Okay.
All right, Brad, do you need us to move this resolution today?
Yes, please.
Do we have a motion?
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement with the Rural Enterprise Zone of the City of Ravenna, Ohio, with Menard Inc. Tax abatement agreement for real property only.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. We really appreciate your work on this and your time today, and thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Diane.
Great. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank
And welcome to Portage County.
Yeah. Thank you.
I hope our Brimfield store is open soon.
Thank you.
Bye, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Ah, there's Joanne.
Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning.
And Todd, is that who we have on the phone?
Yep.
You think I know your number by now, Todd? Okay. I let you in early, Todd. Okay. Joanne, we are ready for you.
Okay. First item on my agenda is the labor attorney contract. In April of 2019, you presented an offer of employment to Mr. Wilkins to do labor negotiations. And that agreement was valid between April 15th of 2019 through March 31st of this year. So my question to you folks is, and because I know that you talked to him last week, I'm assuming you're going to want to extend it. And I'd like to know if we can do at least a 2-year instead of just a year. and I can get the paperwork and the contract and so forth ready. And I'm assuming he's going to be amenable to continuing.
Yeah, I would be comfortable with that. Did we know about our budget for this and whether we came under or over budget
Last
for
year-
the last contract year?
The last contract year, I set it up for 25,000 and you only used $3,014.48.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and that way, and I know that you weren't into, too much in negotiations and things like that, but I think that we'll start with putting that amount in again this year and see, and we can amend it to add additional funds if more conversation goes through with labor talks. But I saw the letter that was prepared for the unions, and I'm thinking that maybe there won't be a lot of time spent, so we should be okay for this year. And then if this is going to be a 2-year contract, it would go into then the 2 years, unless you want to make it any longer. The last Tabowski contract we had, it was for 3 years.
Do you know what we spent the previous year around, like before 2019?
And I didn't check that, not off the top of my head. If that's an easy
Okay.
figure to get, I can get that and email it to you guys
Okay.
so that you have it if you
Okay.
like.
It sounds like the
he was-
switch that we made was a cost savings. So,
Well,
you
and
know, I
it
think
was,
that's,
yes, he was getting an exact amount every month. It didn't depend on how many hours spent unless he was doing something out of the negotiation realm. And off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember what that amount was, but it was sizable as I recall.
that's what I thought too. So we
Yeah.
moved from a monthly retainer with extra
Yes.
billable hours to billable
Yes.
hours, and we
And you've
saved a
got-
lot.
You've got an hourly rate now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And you know
I
what,
think we should continue.
Yeah, I think we should do it for the 2 years, because I know with like the sheriff, isn't the sheriff contract towards the end of the year?
This year,
So
correct?
it always tends to carry over, so it wouldn't be good to switch in the middle of those negotiations, I would think. So,
Is
That's
our
fine.
contract with the labor attorney cover the sheriff negotiations?
Every contract, yes, ma'am.
yep,
I thought he made his own determination. So he's we're all using the same attorney?
Correct.
You put in the contract that he would do everyone. It's up to the sheriff if he wants to use this gentleman. And the agreement with the board was that if he does, that work will be under your contract and your payment. If the sheriff chose to use someone else, he's welcome to do that, but it would have to come out of his appropriations.
Okay.
And of course, he didn't do that, so, yeah.
Okay.
And I know that there was talk about, will they even start since he's leaving office, at the end of the year. So there's a lot that play into the sheriff's contracts this year.
Okay. Thank you, Joanne.
All right, so you're all okay with the 2 year? I'll get that paperwork all started then.
Yeah.
Okay. First resolution I have is for the county engineer. He'd like to procure a couple of highway easements to take care of the Infirmary Road realignment project that he's got pending.
Okay, move that the Board of Commissioners authorizes the acquisition of 2 perpetual highway easements to acquire right-of-way for the Infirmary Road realignment project located in Shalersville Township, Portage County, Ohio.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes,
Kathleen.
Yes.
Second one is the Ohio Department of Transportation has contracts that they bid out every year that we are permitted to partake in. So the county engineer would like to use the one that they have to purchase a tandem axle cab and chassis.
Move that the Board of Commissioners authorizes the purchase through the Ohio Department of Transportation, contract number 023-20 of one 2020 Western Star tandem axle cab and chassis from Cleveland Freightliner, Inc., DBA Valley Freightliner Sterling and Western Star for use by the Portage County Engineer for snow and ice control.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
All right, number 3 is utilizing the same contract with ODOT, and this time they would like to purchase a tandem axle tractor.
Move that the Board of Commissioners authorizes the purchase through the Ohio Department of Transportation, contract number 023-20 of one 2020 Western Star tandem axle tractor from Cleveland Freightliner, Inc., DBA Valley Freightliner Sterling and Western Star for use by the Portage County Engineer.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Okay, number 4 is entering into an agreement for construction, testing, and inspection services. We just took bids, if you'll remember, and awarded for some road resurfacing projects for the county engineer. Now he would like to enter into an agreement with Manick and Smith Group so that they're doing the inspection and testing services on these roads to make sure that they're built to standards.
Move that the Board of Commissioners accepts the proposal of the Manick and Smith Group, Inc., and enter into agreement for providing construction, inspection, testing services for the 405 resurfacing project and the 441 resurfacing project.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Number 5 is a resolution that I was asked to do for EMA. They're looking at damage assessment software to use within their offices and with local governments so that they can get higher reimbursement from FEMA when there's types of disasters, and hopefully we won't have anything catastrophic, but you don't know. This software reduces the time spent and the paperwork evidently on the financial recovery process. Since the letter went out about your budgets and the potential cuts, this is one thing that Ryan is going to he's going to verify that he does want to still pursue and go forward with. But for today, we were going to go ahead and process, and then he's going to reassess his budgets when he gets the time to do that.
Should we hold on passing the resolution until he does that assessment, Joanne, or what?
Well, he asked me to go ahead and proceed with it. And if we don't use it, we don't use it. We can rescind it if we do, but if we've got it, we're ready and we're poised. The term of the agreement was supposed to be May 13th to 2020 to May 12th, 2021. I think he really would like to have it. And so I think he's going to be looking if, what he can trade off to keep this versus something else. But because that letter came out, he was aware that this might not move forward, or he might not be able to do it if the funding's not there.
We've had preliminary discussions between Ryan and myself specific to what Joanne's saying, and based on the letter that came out, he still believes there's money available in his budget. However, if we become more restrictive on spending for the second half of 2020, that may not be the case, but he would like to move forward only if the money is available based on where we think we need to be. So he's keenly aware of the budget issue relative to this purchase.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you both.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement for damage assessment software between the Portage County Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Portage County Emergency Management Agency and Futurity IT, Inc.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, number 6 is an amendment number 3 with Job and Family Services for Emerald Transportation to provide transportation services. Now, in your meeting of 5/28 with Kelly Jo, she explained to you that this is paying the final invoices for May 2019 through April 30th of 2020. And she held off doing this amendment to make sure that all of the invoices were in, so that they wouldn't have to do another one. And this is to pay off the final contract amount.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into amendment number 3 between Portage County Board of Commissioners on behalf of Portage County Job and Family Services and Emerald Transportation to provide transportation services.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Okay, number 7 is part of this Stormwater Septic Assistance Program. Residents on 7388 Peck Road in Ravenna qualified for replacement under the program. So we would like to have, regional planning would like to have an agreement put together for CF Clem Excavating to do the replacement.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into a septic assistance program agreement between the Portage County Board of Commissioners, the Portage County Regional Planning Commission, and CF Clem Excavating for a septic system replacement. Aaron and Brittany Belknap.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Number 8 is another resolution for the same thing. This home is located at 1536 Porter Road in Atwater, and they qualify for replacement under the program as well. The award of this one goes to the company called Dig This Trenching and Septic Service.
Oh, wow. Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into a septic assistance program agreement between the Portage County Board of Commissioners, the Portage County Regional Planning Commission, and Dig This Trenching and Septic Service for a septic system replacement for Ashley Yater.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
And the last resolution is the same, septic system replacement. This residence is at 2244 New Milford Road in Atwater, which qualifies for the replacement under the program. And again, it's by Dig This Trenching and Septic Service.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into a septic assistance program agreement between the Portage County Board of Commissioners, the Portage County Regional Planning Commission, and Dig This Trenching and Septic Service for a septic system replacement for Lester and Juanita Davis.
There's second?
Hold on a second. I think
Second?
Sabrina's
Okay.
having issues. You second, Sabrina?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, we lost you for a second.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
roll
okay.
call, Amy?
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Okay, that's all for me. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne. Have a good
Uh-huh.
day.
You do.
All right, Todd, we're ready for you.
Okay, did you get my email?
Yes.
Again, a very light bill run in almost all the amounts. Then and nows are way down. The overall bill spending was low. So nothing out of the ordinary. It's not unusually low, but it is on the low side, which I commented on last week as well. So that may be one saving grace. Again, if spending is reduced, that's a good thing. If it's just being delayed till later, then we may get caught. But at least some positive note perhaps coming.
Okay, move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, June 11, 2020 bills, ACH payments as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, June 11, 2020 wire transfers for health benefits as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, June 11, 2020 journal vouchers as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to approve the Thursday, June 11, 2020 then and now certification as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Do you want to comment on 5, Todd?
You'll recall the email from Vic indicating that he had, I believe it was 3 murder trials currently underway. Those require a little bit more expenditures regarding witnesses and all those type of things. And in fact, he has exhausted his budget line for expert witnesses, yet still has the cases to go. And so he had asked originally for 30,000. Well, he didn't ask for that. He indicated that it could be up to that amount. And so Gene recommended we put in the 15 now. And then of course, if he needs more later, we would still do that again.
Right. You know, didn't he say we normally just budget 5 for that and we've always been okay, but this is just an extraordinary year?
That's a normal year, yeah. Now that we've had a couple other capital murder trials last year. There was the Kent State with those 3 gentlemen. That we went over then and budgeted specifically for that case as well. But yeah, this is unusual that we've had so many cases all at once. And he has, I want to say 3 or 4 expert witnesses with quite a bit of bills associated with them. So.
Okay, move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to amend the General Fund 2020 Annual Appropriation Resolution Number 19-0947, adopted December 19, 2019.
I'll second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approve the May 2020 adjustments to the Portage County Water, Portage County Sewer, and Streetsboro Sewer billing accounts as reported on the adjustment report submitted and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
I believe that's everything for me, unless you have any questions.
Thanks so much, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you, Todd. Do we want to do miscellaneous items while we wait for our public hearing?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. The Board of Commissioners approves the May 28, 2020 and June 4th, 2020 regular meeting minutes.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves the proposal to cooperate with Ohio Department of Transportation Project POR-SR 14 PID 102234 in the Streetsboro Regional Sewer District Number 4, City of Streetsboro.
Okay, I will second.
Jean, did you have any comment on that?
If you
We have
remember,
the memo, right?
yeah, last week we passed a resolution proposing the bids go out, and I think that's in process right now for the water line relocation. We're anticipating about a $300,000 savings by not going through this process and in essence getting out of ODOT's way. The problem with this little piece of it is there's no way to get out of their way. It's their construction has to sequence with relocation. So it is the mandatory we have to pay, and cooperation is entitled to ODOT. So it's supported.
Okay. Thank you. Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes,
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the June 2nd, 2020 certificate of the county auditor that the total appropriations from each fund do not exceed the official estimate resources for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020, as presented by the Portage County Auditor's Office.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes,
Kathleen.
Yes. All right, let's stand at ease for a couple minutes until 10 a.m.
oh, you know what, Kathleen, I think Gene wanted to mention something about the wearing the mask he wanted to talk about.
I'd sent some information earlier this morning. We've had a couple of people approach me about not everyone in the admin building, even though it is officially closed, it's still open for certain functions. But still the idea that the governor's office and the Ohio Department of Health and our local health agency all are in concert, that if you're in a hallway, if you're in 6 foot of somebody else, you should have a mask on. And there's a lot of people that haven't either received that message. I asked Ryan earlier this morning and he just sent it. It looks like everybody in our admin building, all departments, all elected officials have received what they were asking for or what was provided to them. I don't know which that is, for a quantity of masks. What was provided in the email this morning was what was published by Ryan when the reconstitution plan was sent out as a draft. So I think maybe what we need to do is a little personal one-on-one and talk to folks and say, if you're an employee here, you're supposed to be wearing a mask. Here's the exception. If you're in your office and nobody's with you, you don't need to wear it. Like I'm sitting in the office right now. However, if somebody were to come in, I should pick up my mask and put it on. It's to protect them from any potential that I may be carrying the virus but not know it. I could be asymptomatic. So at this point, I think maybe a little door knocking would be in order. And I just wanted to let you know that I was going to start that process before too long.
Sure. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's important. And I've been in the building and seen some people wearing them and a couple not. So I think that those reminders would be helpful.
Okay. And the one other piece
All right,
I
I'm
think
going. Oh, go ahead,
is
Steve.
important is, and I think it's, we either need to provide a justification that they're not wearing it. There may be medical reasons, there's a whole host, but if somebody is not wearing it, as the employer, we're supposed to provide that justification in writing. So I think maybe that's going to help stimulate some of this mask wearing.
Great. All right, I'm going to admit Todd into the meeting.
okay.
Hi, Todd.
Hey, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
Hi. Hi, Lisa.
Hi,
Oh, hi, Lisa.
I'm here.
So do we need to recess into this public hearing?
Yes.
Okay. So we will recess into the public hearing. Lisa, the floor is yours, and Todd.
Okay, All right, yeah, I'll handle it. This hearing is to seek citizen input and discussion of the 2020 Community Development Allocation Grant. The activities include the Haven and Portage County Water and Sewer Improvement Project in the amount of $225,200. I had to round the number. When I put the number in that was submitted as part of the proposal, it rounded the number. So that's what it rounded to in the system, just so you know. The $225,200 will be used to provide materials, construction, installation, tie-in fees for water, sanitation, and for sewer. $24,763 will be used towards, in addition to the CDBG funds, will be used towards the cost of construction and the tap-in fees. The estimate that I received from the engineer, I am waiting to hear back for so I don't have a total cost of construction yet. Once I get that, the Haven and Portage County will contribute the difference in the cost. The next project is the Wyndham commutes to the community center and hall, where we will make the necessary flooring repairs in the attic. We're going to repair the walls and ceilings and finish the bathroom in the left wing. We're going to do some electrical work. We're going to do some HVAC, heating and cooling work. And we are going to remove all the existing uneven sidewalk from the walk, regrade the areas, form and pour new sidewalk on the outside. The Freedom Township ADA project, that one too, when it was entered into the system, it rounded the number up actually to 24,800. With these funds, we are going to do 2 handicap accessible parking spaces at the Township Hall and 2 at the one-room schoolhouse located at 7276 State Route 303, along with 1 ADA compliant restroom at the schoolhouse and 2 restrooms at the Township Hall. At the Township Hall, they also need to have the, need to replace a deteriorating ramp and railing so they can be in compliance with the current ADA standard. The renovations of the schoolhouse and the grounds will be used to host programs, exhibit historic artifacts relating to Freedom Township. The improvements to the Township Hall will also allow better accessibility for those in the community that are elderly or disabled, the ability to come and vote in person or come to township meetings and or go to community events at the township facility. $10,000 will be used in fair housing as a requirement under the grant. Regional planning will receive $72,000 in administration. In addition to the county projects, the city of Streetsboro will receive through the county, county CDBG allocation, $150,000, where we are going to use $45,000 for a snow removal, yard mowing, cleanup, and leaf removal program to benefit the LMI elderly / handicap residents in the city of Streetsboro. $82,500 is going to be used for a home repair program where we will assist with replacement of furnaces, roofs, whatever, for LMI households in the city. And then regional planning will administer that on behalf of the city and the county for $22,500. Total grant application will be $630,000. Are there any questions?
Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
I have a question, and Lisa, about these descriptions. Is it possible to edit these, or
Oh, actually, this is just a abbreviated version or a version that I use just for the handout. It's actually, the descriptions are different than what I'm putting in the application.
Okay.
Because I actually, on some of the activities towards the end, like the City of Streetsboro project, the Freedom ADA project, I changed it as well to get more information. But yeah, I can.
Could I just flag for you, Lisa, for the final application on the Haven description? I would eliminate the second paragraph, which says that there's only one shelter in Portage County, because that's not accurate. There's also the Freedom House and the domestic violence shelter, which are emergency shelter options. And the Miller House does not have a 30-day limit restriction. So if you eliminate that paragraph, you eliminate those pieces of information. And then I would also eliminate the second paragraph from the end. There's language there about shelters who take federal monies are forced to prioritize getting families out of shelters.
Yeah.
Not working on what got them there in the first place. I would take that sentence out and the sentence after it. And then I think it's fine.
Okay.
So you're leaving the last sentence in there, Kathleen? Each homeless individual family needs one-on-one. Are you leaving that in?
Yeah,
there?
I think that's okay to say. I just don't think the other stuff is necessarily accurate.
Yeah, this narrative for the Haven is going to actually change a little bit there, especially with the funding, because like I said, I don't have all the costs. And actually the estimate that I have for the tap-in fees from the county, that was based on 64 persons versus 62. So that's going to be changing anyway, at least in that term.
Okay.
Totally. And I got to change the amount of the RLF.
Okay.
So.
Are we doing the resolution now, Kathleen?
Usually you guys do it after the hearing. You don't do it during.
After the hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then do
Did
it.
we receive any questions from the public?
No, the only phone call I did receive was from a person who inquired as to when a timeline as far as when the shelter would be up and running and construction would be completed. Other than that, that was it.
Okay. I have a question about the resolution, which I know is separate, but on the resolution,
I did revise that handout.
well, there's the resolution in the handout.
We got a revised resolution, didn't we?
Yes, you did. Basically, if you're looking at the one in the handout, if you take out the second whereas, that is literally what I.
That's what I thought. Okay. Do we have a paper copy of that, or it's just eliminating that second whereas?
I emailed it to Amy and Julie.
Okay.
Amy, that's the revised one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
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 Okay. All right. Then
We have to
are there
turn-
further questions?
I don't have any.
No.
No. Sabrina, are you trying to say something?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I don't have any.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got it. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
So moved.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. So now we move the resolution,
Okay.
amended resolution.
Okay. I move to authorize the filing and application with the Ohio Development Services Agency Office of Community Development for the 2020 CDBG Community Development Allocation Funds.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
We have one more that you need us to pass here, right?
Right.
Yes, okay. Move that the CDBG and home program, anti-displacement and reallocation assistance.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes. Let's pause for a moment and wait for 10:15.
Okay.
To call our next public meeting to order, public hearing. All right, it's 10:15, everyone. So let's recess our commissioner meeting and open the public hearing for the Regional Planning Commission Neighborhood Revitalization Grant public hearing. Lisa.
Okay, actually, yeah, handout, I do have a slight typo just to point it out. The hearing I put in there that it was for the 2020 Community Development Allocation Grant. Obviously, it should say the 2020 CDBG Neighborhood Revitalization Grant. The Wickerman's Jones allotment contains Morgan Road, Brush Road, March Granton, Louise, and nearby streets that are also proposed to receive improvements as part of this application include Williams, Jones, Sample, Mechanic Avenue, Beach Street, Hillcrest Street, and Park Avenue. The neighborhood is primarily residential, but it contains City Park and West Park Elementary School, as well as a few commercial properties. The entire project is considered to be in a low to moderate income area. Roadways have all exceeded their 12-year anticipated lifespan, with some of the roadways up to 24 years old. There are no ADA accessible curb ramps in this neighborhood, and several sidewalk locations are deteriorated or heaved, creating impediments to pedestrians. There is an abandoned canal behind Morgan Road that does not drain and has created a mosquito breeding habitat that has resulted in numerous complaints to and visits from the Portage County Health Department. Many of the fire hydrants in this neighborhood do not provide adequate flow for fire protection either. The proposed scope of project will improve the unsafe conditions with asphalt resurfacing, which will create a smooth surface and adequate skid resistance for motorists and bicyclists, sidewalk and ADA ramp improvements to improve pedestrian mobility, storm water catch basin repairs, and improvements to the abandoned canalway to improve resident and first responder safety. And they're going to improve the lighting as well in this neighborhood. The construction cost of this project is estimated to be at $554,000. Funds in the amount of $279,700 is being requested in CDBG Neighborhood Revitalization Grant funds, and the City of Ravenna will provide matching funds of $284,000 from its paving, water, storm and sewer funds to complete the balance of the improvements. Regional Planning is also requesting administration in the amount of $30,000 for this grant. Any questions?
Yeah.
No.
Is there any
I
questions?
don't have any.
Okay.
No, I don't have any questions.
And I didn't receive any public comments or anything on this either.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Do we only have one resolution for this? Because I think I got 2 copies of the same resolution.
Oh yeah, there's only one resolution for the Neighborhood Revitalization Grant.
Okay. I move that the authorizing the filing of an application with the Ohio Development Services Agency Office of Community Development for the 2020 CDBG Neighborhood Revitalization Grant Funds.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Yay.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Lisa.
Okay.
And thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Have a
We appreciate it.
Oh, no. Yeah. I think
All right, let's stand at ease.
We want to read.
Ease while we wait for Janet. Everyone, Janet is here. Sabrina, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm here.
great. Okay, I figured. I'm gonna admit Janet. We can
Okay.
start with her.
Hi, Janet.
Good morning, Janet.
Morning, everybody.
We are running a little early today, so we're ready for you.
Okay. I don't know if Randy is here yet. He's actually going to attend the first topic with me. If not, I could go on to my second one.
Okay.
And is he here
Yeah,
yet?
let's go ahead. He's not here yet. No.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my second discussion item was the BOC voluntary turnover report. This one I did a little bit differently this year. You could tell from the report that not only did I look at the turnover for 2019, but I also compared it to 2018 like I normally do. And then also I looked at the past 5 years of the turnover just to kind of see where if there was a trend and any improvements that we have for the past 5 years. But you could see last year, we had 23 resignations and our turnover was actually down to 6.50. Compared to 2018, we had 30 employees resign and our turnover was 8.47%. So overall, we really aren't looking bad. We're really not. I mean, there could be, looking at all the data, there's obviously some areas that we could improve on. And that's what I'm going to focus on this year. And those areas would obviously be the career potential, the unspecified category, and also the management and supervision category. I would like to work on those this year and see what we can do about improving those numbers. So I don't know if you had any specific questions about any of the data.
I didn't have any questions, but I appreciated having the data and getting the report and seeing the comparisons. And I too thought that the numbers looked pretty good. And it's nice to see that I think we're at a 5-year low over the past year. And that's great.
Yeah.
So I think it's helpful that we review it and think it through. And it seems like we're doing some good things to get to this type of result. So thanks.
Yeah. And and the directors receive, anytime we do an exit interview, they receive copies of them. And then they also receive copies of the report as well. So they're able to see if any department ever wanted a further breakdown of their department numbers, I would be more than welcome or happy to do that for them as well. And that might be something I'll look into this year anyway, just do it just so I can, provide that to the directors.
Janet, on the competitive practices, am I reading correctly that is kind of high? I mean, it's according to the other numbers, and exactly what does that entail?
For last year, the competitive practices were all salaries. So you had 3 individuals leave us for higher salary somewhere else. And those 3 departments, there was somebody from JFS, EMA, and then also water resources.
Okay.
And Janet, some of them have a huge percentage in unspecified. What would be unspecified? They just didn't give an exit interview?
Yes.
Or they didn't really have a reason?
There were 4 people last year that did not meet with us for whatever reason. We tried to schedule it, and they either had an exit interview scheduled and they failed to appear, or they failed to call us back to schedule an exit interview. And so that's one category that I want to try to improve this year, and hopefully try to give these employees a chance to meet with us on their last day before they leave. Yeah, so that's what the unspecified category is for last year, the 2019.
Yeah, because the pie chart I'm looking at is the solid waste one, that we had, twice as many people that were unspecified versus that gave us a reason why, so.
Yes, yes. Those 4 individuals did not meet with us.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Randy's here. So do we have any further questions on the turnover report?
I don't.
No.
Okay, thanks again, Janet, and we'll bring Randy in now.
Okay. And the reason why I had asked Randy to attend today, with just the slow reopening of our buildings and then employees slowly returning to work, we are having some accommodation requests coming from employees with either a pre-existing respiratory condition or some other medical condition that, they feel they need accommodation at work during the COVID pandemic. We did receive accommodation requests from a building department employee, and Randy is aware of it. Randy and we talked with the employee, and I just wanted to bring Randy in today just to really have a conversation with the board, just to make sure you're aware of the accommodation request, and just make sure you're okay with it. So
Okay.
I'll leave it up to Randy to go into some
Good
detail.
morning, Randy.
Hi, Randy.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for taking time to hear about us a little bit. Quick summary. When the COVID-19 activity started back in March, working with my office staff, the ladies in the office, what we did was we went on a bit of a rotating schedule so that they could telework from home a couple of days a week, be in the office and alternate so that it kept our distancing even better than it already is. Same thing with our inspectors in the field. I set up standards for them. They come into the office several days a week themselves on alternating days, so they're not on top of each other. And it's worked very well. And we haven't missed a beat in servicing the public and our clients. With all that said, my office manager has been at home under doctor's orders due to a prior respiratory condition. We'll simply say that, and we have that on file. And in about middle May, my office staff came to me. I didn't go to them, so I'm going to give them credit where credit's due, and said, the workload is so great. The amount of workload that we have coming in the door is exceptionally large. Of course, all the documents that we have to work with are tangible drawings, specifications. And they said, with upcoming planned vacations, what we'd like to do is just all of us come back in the office, regular hours, regular time, not telework. And they said, we're going to do that June 1st. And I said, fine, I appreciate, you thinking about that. And they did so. So they came back June 1st. The office manager still teleworking from home due to her prior condition. With vacations happening, there is a lot of work that needs to happen in the office. So the office manager has requested that she will telework from home approximately half a day. And the other half a day, which would be later in the afternoon when people start to leave the office, she'll come in and do the physical work that needs to be done by touching the documents, preparing them, getting things ready that just has to happen in the office. So I don't have a problem with that. I think it makes sense. I think it's logical, and it's concurrent with the plan to still allow teleworking from home for those who have a medical condition and have a need. And that way, when she's in the office, she'll be remote from other people and still suffice everything we're looking for. So we wanted to chat with you about that this morning, get your opinion, and not do something without you knowing what we're doing.
Great.
It seems to me, Janet and Randy, that request falls within the current telework policy that we still have in place.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a number of employees that, like Amy, who is working from home mostly, but there are just some things that she needs to be in the office for. So she comes in at specific times. And that, all of that falls, I think, within the telework policy as drafted, because we wanted to have that flexibility and we want to still encourage telework as much as possible. But am I missing something? Is there something here that it falls outside of that policy.
Let me put it to you this way, Kenley. The only change would be is that the person might be in the office starting at maybe 3 or 4 in the afternoon and work till say 6 o'clock, which is beyond normal hours that we would normally work, but still putting in the regular, 8-hour day, if you will. So we just wanted to make you aware of that. We just didn't want to have anybody in the office after the regular hours doing some work on her own without your knowledge, but it's still daylight. We're not there in the middle of the night or anything like that. I thought it was a logical approach to this unique situation that we have in our office, and making you aware of it is the only purpose here. I think it does fall under the policy, but it's kind of just on the outskirts of it. So that's our whole purpose here in discussing this with you for a few moments.
Right.
Randy,
Okay.
do you see there being a security issue?
I thought about that and extensively.
With having the person there. I mean,
being that the person will be out of the office by 6 o'clock, the days that she needs to come in, it's still daylight. It's not, I'll have her just park, over in the bullpen area, and she's fine with that. She's been with us for almost 32 years doing the job, so I think we're okay. And besides that, I know it's going to be safe for her.
Yeah, and it's not like she's going to be dealing with the cash drawer or anything like that, correct?
She's not touching. She's in a locked office doing document paperwork or entry of permits. No, not touching or coming in public. Everything's going to be totally locked down.
Okay.
And Randy, these hours, you recommend this to us. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. I'm recommending it to you. And again, as I said, it's a twofold: to recommend it, but also feel that it's probably 90% under the policy, being that she's going to be there a little later. Just wanted to make the board aware of it so that you're aware and there's no questions to be asked later on.
Well, Randy, normally we do go with the recommendations of our directors unless there's something that's just outside and abnormal and can't do. So we take your recommendation seriously, and we think you've thought it out, and we appreciate you bringing it to us.
Well, thank you. And again, it's just to keep the things flowing. We're exceptionally busy in the building department. Things have not slowed down. Our revenue stream is stable and solid.
It's great.
I think my forecast for this year is we're going to have a year like we had last year in revenue stream, which is certainly obviously good for everybody, our office, but the capital funding as well. And we'll keep you apprised of all of that. But business for construction in Portage County under our jurisdiction certainly hasn't slowed a whole lot, and we see more coming in every day.
The only last question I have is, I think one for Janet. Janet, are there any unintended consequences that you could foresee with allowing this for this employee? I again feel like it falls within our policy, but I just want to make sure it doesn't create problems elsewhere. It doesn't seem like it would, but is there anything you'd want to flag for us?
No, and Randy and we talked about it, and we can't foresee any, but if something would arise or there was a red flag, within a couple weeks, we would obviously stop the accommodation and talk to the employee about revising it. But honestly, we can't, other than the fact that, what Randy just said. He just wanted to make the board aware that she may be here until 6 o'clock on the days that she's in the office. But we really can't foresee any red flags right now.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. I think we're all in agreement that it's fine to proceed, and we appreciate the discussion about it.
Good. I appreciate your time, and thank you so much, and have a great day.
Randy. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Bye now.
And then I think I just have a resolution and then a journal entry.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approve the extension of Resolution 20-0310 for the temporary public health emergency leave addendum.
I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to rescind the recommendation to hire Donald Feller for the regional wastewater superintendent position for Portage County Water Resources and authorize the reposting of this position.
Okay, I will second.
Roll call, Amy?
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Okay. And I think
Great, Janet.
that's it for me.
Thank you so
And
much.
I think Kelly
Thank you
Jo
so
is
much.
right after me.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Kelly Jo's after me, and I think she has an executive session in the beginning of hers. So
Okay.
I think I'm gonna hang around
Okay.
for her
Okay.
executive
Okay.
session.
Okay.
Is she here? Kelly Jo?
Sue is here.
Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hi, sorry.
That's okay. Good to see you.
Hi.
And Kelly Jo.
We're not social distancing. Shame on us. I will in just a minute. Go away, Sue. Well, I was trying to mute it.
Well, we're ready for you guys. Wait, you're muted now.
Yeah.
Am I good now?
You're good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Would it
Kelly
be possible?
Jo,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, you go ahead.
Would it be possible to flip the executive session to the beginning since Janet is hanging out with us and talk about?
Yep, you took the words out of my mouth. We'll go ahead and
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
So I'll move to go into executive session for G1 to consider the compensation of a public employee.
Second?
Roll call, Amy?
Kathleen,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Okay, great. Give me just a moment, guys, to stop the live stream. We'll be back.